Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks, and I'm going to show you how to make my bird feeding fat balls. And for that I need a little saucepan and some lard, yuck, and these are the coconuts that they're half coconut, and I fill these up. I did buy these. It's a bit of a pain with that one having a little bit missing because I have to be careful, and this one's got a chunk missing as well, so I have to be careful they don't kind of run out. So I've been using some bird seed. I buy it in a big bag, and I used to get it in the supermarket, but this stuff I got in one of those, they're kind of farm shop, but they do a lot of animal feeds as well, and I got two huge bags, and they are £2.50 per bag, so you can see it's really inexpensive. And these are the manufactured fat balls that I used to get them. Birds don't particularly like them very much, they just hang there. So to get rid of them, I've been crumbling them up and putting them in my mixture just to sort of get rid of them, and it's the only way to do it. So that's basically all I use to make them. So I've just got to get, I'm just going to pause the video because I've got to get, these are a bit uneven, so I do stand them in something when I'm making it. So I'm just going to pause the video while I find those. Okay, as you can see, I've now got them in, like, they're just like little stands. They've been knocking around for a while. But that's basically it. So it just holds it until it's set. So I also forgot my knife, because I cut off around, let's move that back a little bit, about half of that block. So I don't know how much in weight, but we get a block of lard, which is, this is about half of it or just under half. So I just usually kind of cut through the packaging and do a bit of a chunk of lard. It doesn't matter if it's not particularly straight, it's only lard at the end of the day. And I put that in the saucepan on a very low heat, just so that it, oh, my hands are covered in sticky lard, just so that it will melt. So all I do is I just put it on a very low heat, say about 2 or so, just so that it'll melt up. And once that's liquid, I then add it to my dry ingredients. So excuse me walking around this all the time, because it's a little bit difficult to do it otherwise. So I'm just trying to get into my fat balls. So I empty a fair amount of my seed in a big mixing bowl, and I normally get a couple of these and I just crumble them, because they're not really so they're, all they really consist of is a little bit of seed and some sunflower seeds. There's a little bit of other bits in there, but they're really not very they're not very full, and I just get rid of the lumps of those. And this, I'm only doing this really to get rid of them. When these have gone, I'm not sure that I'll buy any more. I might buy better make, but they used to hang in a netting, but the birds weren't particularly happy with it. So then just make sure that's all crumbled up and mixed, and I'm going to put a little bit more seed in there, and I'm just any scoop. This one makes less fall on the floor. Now what I do is I mix up a lot. I might not use all of it, but I just keep it in an airtight container for tomorrow, because they really will go through it. I've only got 2 coconuts, or I would make more. Next time I go to the shop, I may buy some more, and if I buy some more, then I might make a few more and put them up in the garden. So really all I do is mix that through. So now it's got an awful lot more seed in there, and I don't know, it looks like corn, but all kinds of grains and seeds. And I just make sure all the lumps are gone. It doesn't really matter if they're not, they'll still stay in there, but I prefer it that way. So my lard hasn't melted yet, and I also need a jug. So I'm going to pause the video, get my jug, put the rest of my lard in the fridge while the lard that I've got on the stove melts, because it's taken a little while. Okay, so my lard has melted in the pan. It's not really hot, it's just melted. But even so, it's still quite hot, so I'm not going to put it in my plastic bowl. I put it into just a little jug, and I make sure that all of it, as much as I can get of it, comes out. Occasionally I might, it's not exact, you know, might have more, might have a little bit less at times. So that's it. So that's in there, and I'll put this in the sink. And now all I do is just move that, and I'll try and get this on here as much as I can. Let's move that out of the way. All I do is spoon some of this in, and it will take actually a lot more than you think, because as long as it's wet, it will set. And so all I do is I just put it in, and then I give it a stir. So just give it a good stir around, and you can see it's gooey, mushy. It's still quite wet, so I can put a bit more in, which I'll just do it with the scoop. That's a bit too powdery. That's another thing with those manufactured fat balls, you get an awful lot of powder, and I have no idea what that is. But no wonder my little birdies didn't want to eat it. So I think that's about the right consistency. So then I just bring in a coconut and just spoon it in. But obviously I have to watch my gaps. Just make sure I've got it all in the shot. It's hard to sort of keep tabs. So it's just a case of plopping it in. Yum. Not. Birdies think so. I don't overstuff them because of those holes. And sometimes I make a little bit too little, but other times it was usually dead right. This is the one with the worst of the cracks, so maybe put a little bit less in that one. But I just pat it down, a bit more in there. Just pat them down. Yuck. The birds find it irresistible. Right, I'll just drop some. I don't normally spill it, but obviously I'm not usually doing it with a camera. So then it's just a case of patting it down into the little mould, which is half a coconut, and just get the rest out with my spoon. No, finger's got to go in. Just remember not to lick your finger, because that would be gross. Right, so then just pat it all down and smooth it over, get it away from the hole. I don't think much will come out. This is quite a solid mixture. So that's all done. Now all I do is, sorry about hitting the camera there. All I do now is wait for it, excuse me, wait for it to set. And then put it out there and watch them fight over it, because they absolutely do fight over it. But this bird seed here, this one, is so much better. Just dropped my knife right by my foot, so that was quite lucky. This is so much better than the one that I was getting in the supermarket. It's just chock-a-block, and there's massive bag for £2.50, so that's it's really good value. Now what this stuff here that's left over, I'm going to put in a little tub for next time, and I'll just add to it. The only other thing I do sometimes is, because this is sticky, I will just pop a few nuts in and just press them in, and they're on the outside. But there's a little bit that fell out, so I'll pop that in. And just pat it down so it's when it's set, it can go out. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my fat ball recipe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye bye for now.